I'm sitting with Terry Cross, new venture consultant. Terry, you've been involved in angel investing for 46 years. How did you get your start in angel investing?
Well, a friend of mine who was my stockbroker at the time called me one day and he said, we're not doing too well in the public markets. Would you like to take a look at a private investment? I didn't really know what he meant, but he explained it and I said, sure.
Now, how did you do on that investment?
Well, I put in about $12,500, and as I recall, I think I took out $450,000 or $460,000.
That's about 40 times, just doing the math
in 4 years, right?
Right. So that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Are they all like that?
No, they're definitely not all like that. If you look at the whole history, there are probably 8 or 10 that have produced all the return. I would just guess that somewhere maybe around 25 of them have burned entirely to the ground.
Okay.
And then there are a few that I call the living dead, where I'm not really expecting any return, but since they're issued under private placement, I can't give them away, I can't sell them, I can't give them to my church, I can't do anything with them. I just have to sort of sit there and hope that either someday they go out of business and I get a tax write-off,
right,
or maybe I'll get a little bit of money from them.
About that 8 to 10 that have produced all of the return, that's out of about 45
right.
that you funded. So that sounds like it's on the order of 20 to 25% have really been successes.
They've carried the freight.
And so give me a little bit of an idea. What are the criteria you use to decide to make an investment?
I'm very much a bettor on the jockey.
Okay.
Number one, meaning that I like very solid people in place to run the business. The very first thing that I'm really looking for instance, in a presentation, is what is the value proposition?
Okay.
I have to understand what the value proposition is, and it has to make sense to me. What are the key differentiators between what this company is doing and what all the competition?
You want to look at the management, have faith in the management. You want to look at the value proposition. In other words, how is it that they're going to win against everybody else who's competing in the field?
Right. And then from there on, it's just going through the various parts of the business plan.
What would be some of those things?
Well, I tend to kind of undervalue what investors say about their proposed market penetration. It's never worked out once.
Okay.
What they said. Typically they'll come in and say, well, we have this gizmo for the automotive industry, and the automotive industry is a gazillion-dollar industry, and we're only going to try to capture 1/10 of 1%. Yeah, right. Okay. So let's get serious here. So and you see that time and time and time again with investors, and what I really want to look at is the addressable market, and then what I call a realistic and addressable market, and then the most likely realistic addressable market. And we get this whittled down to what is the real market that you're going to be able to address, and what are your chances of lasting through the process of addressing it.
What to you is a good sign that the entrepreneurs have done their homework and figured out what their addressable market is?
Well, real companies, real customers, real people, whomever they might be. List them out for me and tell me what is your strategy for capturing them as customers. What is going to make them turn from being a potential customer into an actual customer? And so I want to have great specificity here, because at the end of the day, no company goes far without revenues.
Right.
And so if I can't see some path to revenues fairly quickly, then I'm a lot less interested in investing.